Happy Sunday. This is your style appetizer for the week. So, yes, I have been thinking, but more than thinking, I've been doing a lot of feeling. And feelings are healing. Did you know that? I'm standing in front of my Buddha because he's going to be part of this conversation. And the reason why he's going to be part of this conversation is that we don't spend enough time contemplating on the inside. So Buddha's eyes are closed, meaning the gaze is turned inwards. And when we have feelings, for many of us, not for all of us, but for many of us, what we do is we get them out. We are either super excited or super angry or in somewhat of a distress. So let's say half the world turns inward, half the world turns outward. But this inward, this turning your gaze inward, is not the same as turning your anger or your expression of emotion inward. So let's just make the distinction. First of all, we all have feelings. Feelings are healing, meaning when we feel them, they're healing. But what if we don't? What if we suppress them? What if we eat them and anger turned inwards becomes depression? What if we try to dismiss them? What if we try to hide them? What if we don't think it's safe enough to express them? So all of these things, and these are for good feelings and for feelings that make us a little discomfortable, like I like to say. What do we do with them? Where do we take them? Because you can't just shove them down the drain, because it's like a bad hairdo. You shove it in one side, it's going to come out the other like this, and then that's what feelings do. Emotions are energy in motion. They need to be in motion. They need to get expressed. And when we don't, not kind things happen to us. And I say not kind things because they're not unkind, but they're not kind to our growth and to our bodies. So there's many things we can do. And when we're upset, or when someone has just rained on our parade because we were so excited, and you're like, come out, and you're like so excited, and somebody just like squishes your dreams or squashes your excitement or your brilliance or your joy, we don't want to be out loud. And we also don't want to be out loud with our anger and our fears and our distress, and because there's a whole other level of judgment that comes along with that. So in acting, there's something that we do. We sit in front of a mirror and we act it out. On the show, I forgot, Grey's Anatomy, the main character and her favorite soul sister and her best friend, they dance it out. Okay. We are just not used to saying, hey, listen, this is what's going on, meaning taking a moment, turning our eyes inward and going, what is really going on here? Where am I? Not where am I physically, but where am I emotionally? Where am I mentally? What's happening to me? And I want to share with you that I spent a very, very difficult night last night. I wasn't sleeping. I had lots of conversations going on in my head. And as you've heard me say, my head is not a good neighborhood to go into by myself, yet I was. So I turned to the page. I turned to paper. I turned to speaking. I record myself on my phone. And I want to share this with you because the wound that we happen to be in, and the moment that we happen to be in it, there are wonders of magnificence in all those wounds. And when we suppress them, the wonder goes away. The wonder cannot come and live out loud into the world. Wounds always carry wonder. Always. Wounds always carry wisdom. That's why I call them the wounds of wisdom. But when we don't speak them to ourselves and clarify what's going on without the anger, just clarify the hurt and clarify, and even with the anger, we can't clarify it in the world for ourselves and for others. And then how do we go and have a conversation with someone that has been part of this conversation when we are hurting and yearning to be heard? So we first need to have ourselves be heard inside and outside, on paper, on audio, do a meditation. So all of these methods of getting it out of your body and onto the page, onto the screen, onto the whatever, art, go bake something. Not that it's going to turn out good, because if you're so angry, it's most probably not going to turn out good. But at least you have taken action. Sitting with it is also taking action, because sitting with it and being in it is the action of feeling the emotion. And I know for many people that's like, oh my God, that's going to be so overwhelming, I'm going to die. But you won't, I promise you. The body will not feel what the heart cannot heal. The body is an incredible instrument for healing. We just have to be honest with ourselves. And sometimes the honesty has a road, like a little bit of honesty and then a little more honesty. And then suddenly you have an exquisite opening. So my suggestion for this style appetizer, before I go on too long, is the next time something irks you, something hurts you, someone hurts you, some circumstances, even though you're bigger than the circumstances, but the circumstances are paining you, like the Indians say, it pains you. Pain needs to be expressed. Express it, look at it, turn your gaze inward, be with it. I promise you, you will come out the other side a bigger human being. And we will be the better for it, because we get to hear the wisdom from those wounds. So tell me which corner of the universe you're lighting up today. Are there any wounds in your closet that you'd like to heal? Let me know, because I want to help you heal them. I love you. I can't wait to throw my arms around you and talk about these wounds, because that's my next year. My 64th year of being on this earth is about sharing from the wound, teaching from the wound, mentoring from the wound, because our wounds are sources and springs of wisdom. So have a great Sunday. I'll see you next time. And tell me which corner of the universe you're lighting up today. Go play in your closet. Bye.